I don't know. So I'm coming at this sort of defensively because I feel like a lot of people would call this their favorite Peter Gabriel album.
Hello, VC. Plastic Eric here. Plastic Soundwave Cole here for it's finally starting to feel like summer edition of Collection Connection. Again, it's just an excuse to talk about music. It's a game that I play with my brother Bryce over on the channel Good Show Ponsonby. We connect each other's collections together. He shows an album, I make a connection to it, then he makes a connection to that album, and then I make a connection to that album, so on and so forth, like a little chain. So I do mine every Monday when the cats aren't in the way, and he does his every Thursday. This is already taken way too long. Monday, me, Thursday, him. On Thursday, Bryce showed Peter Gabriel, aka Melt, or Peter Gabriel 3. It's got a couple of different names. It would be tempting to go with Led Zeppelin on that connection, you know, an album with no title, but because it has no title, has more than one name that it's known by. But in doing the research, I found out that Peter Gabriel's Melt album 3, Peter Gabriel self-titled, but the third time, used an early Fairlight MDI, I believe it is, musical digital instrument is what I believe that stands for. I probably got it wrong. So we're just going to call it the Fairlight. The Fairlight was used on that album, and interestingly enough, Peter Gabriel doesn't play the Fairlight. He has Peter Vogel do the Fairlight, who is the inventor, or one of the two inventors of the Fairlight. He worked with somebody else, but right now his name is a footnote. But Peter Vogel, who had worked on the Fairlight, played the Fairlight on Peter Gabriel's album. Now, on backup vocals was a young singer who was already fairly well known in her own right. Kate Bush did backup vocals on some of the songs, especially my favorite song from Peter Gabriel, probably Games Without Frontiers. Absolutely fantastic song. Never knew that she did the backing vocals on that. I think I hear now when I listen to it where she is on the backing vocals. But one of the interesting things about her being on the backing vocals was that obviously she's going to talk to Peter Gabriel and learn about the Fairlight. And she probably learned about the Fairlight from Peter Vogel, because I believe he used the Fairlight on that song as well. So I don't think it's beyond the possibility that they, you know, happen to meet each other. And this documentary that I saw about her said that she went and got a Fairlight and learned how to use it and everything. And it appeared on her next album, which I got right here. Never Forever. This is her third album. Again, she was already a pretty big star at this point. Decided to use the Fairlight on this album, and she does for a couple of songs. But ironically, she doesn't play it either. And it's not even Peter Vogel. It's a different guy that plays the Fairlight. So I found that interesting that Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush are both interested in learning and using the Fairlight, but it is somebody else that plays it on the actual, that's recorded on the actual album. And so that was my basic connection, was that she sang backing vocals, but in reality, it was this Fairlight thing that I found interesting about the two albums. And so I have two copies of this actually. This is a 2018 European pressing, and then I have an OG Canadian pressing that it was gifted to me by a lovely couple from Norway. Um, and This is one of the few albums that I have two versions of it. And the cool thing about it is that, I hear about the kids doing all this A-B stuff, where you listen to two different pressings of an album and see which one you like better. And that's been an interesting thing to try. I don't have a clear winner on it. I still need to do it a couple more times to say, okay, I think this one's the winner. Because it seems like on some songs it does better, and on other ones they kind of flip. I don't know, but very interesting kind of pursuit to do, a nerdy thing that you would do as a record collector, and some people have built their channel on it. What can I say about this album? Except for the first song on it, I believe, is Babushka, correct? Well, Babushka. I remember when that video came out, and it starts off, she's under the cover, and then boom, when she goes into the chorus. Wow. Man, I was about like 10 years old. And Kate Bush was kind of the lady that, as a young kid, you start going, I'm starting not really don't care that girls have cooties. She kind of awoke into, hey, you know what? You're interested in girls. And so, yeah, that is my main memory of that video and this album. The other song I knew on here is Army Dreamers, and also, darn it, I can't always remember what every one of those songs is. It is Breathing. Breathing was a big hit over there in England when my brother and I lived over there. So yeah, if you get a chance, check out. I think it's one of the more kind of forgotten albums, and that she did. I mean, everybody likes the first one. Everybody really likes the one that has Running Up That Hill on it, and then there's the other albums in there. And I think this is one of the ones that doesn't get talked about as much, but it is a really good album, especially those three songs right there alone. But the other songs are pretty good too. I think it's one of her more solid albums, to be honest, in my personal opinion. But yeah, so the Fairlight, Peter Gabriel, backup singer, Kate Bush, neither one of them played the Fairlight. So that's my connection. It's not just about the music, but it's about how they play the music sometimes and that kind of stuff. So until next time, bye.